Welcome everybody to another Tuesday. I just jumped right into it. Welcome everybody
Yeah.
to another Tuesday night of Homebuyer Academy Live. I'm your host Maurice. I'm here with my brother Chad. Chad, what's going on today?
My brother, how you doing, man? Happy to be here again another Tuesday. Another opportunity to just share some information and some insights and really chop it up. See what comes up tonight.
Yeah, let me see. We like that view better, right?
Yeah, let's do that. I like that.
All right, cool. All right, so I know last time we got together was a big hit. We were talking about just relationships and how that plays a part in your decision making process for home ownership. But actually, before we get into tonight's episode, we like to start off with gratitude. We like to start off with just getting into the moment. First and foremost, I'm grateful that we're still here. I'm grateful. My son. Sorry, y'all. I've been making rapture jokes all day,
You're
but
fooling.
my son just celebrated his 7th birthday. I felt like he was just born yesterday, and I'm grateful
That's
to see
crazy.
like the young man that he's becoming. And I love being a father. I love my kids. They're all doing great, so I'm so grateful for that. How about
Bro,
what's
it's
going on
like your
with you,
son had two birthdays this year. And Josh had two birthdays this year. It's
man? Like
crazy how
Blink did
fast.
it.
Yeah, it's wild.
And he
Yeah,
don't
man.
even realize I did the same theme last year. Got the bounce house and got the.
Right, exactly.
He just had
And
a
they
good
didn't know
time
the
with his friends.
difference. That was great. We had a great time, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm grateful as well, bro. I have to say my gratitude is centered around my wife. I'm so grateful she had a big business or a big career uh, milestone, and
Mm.
I'll let her tell it when she's ready to tell it. But yeah, man, she had a big career milestone that we've been praying on and we've been plotting on. And the fact that God just brought it to her without any kind of force is like really majestic in a sense, and I really um
Hmm.
yeah, I'm grateful for God's will and
Yeah,
not
man.
forcing God's will. Because then it's the devil's work, isn't it? I'm joking. That's a bit too far, but okay.
No, no, but yeah, hey, we're here to have fun. I know Homebuyer Academy. Sometimes we're going to teach, and sometimes we're going to have a good time. And always, we're going to inform you guys on what you need to know to make the best decisions in life. With a primary focus on home ownership. So tonight we're gonna kind of piggyback from our last episode, uh, putting more of an emphasis on making good decisions together, and why that's important. Now, actually, I'm gonna let you go off, go off with that, Chad. Kind of elaborate on that subject matter of, but because, and the reason why I'm deferring to you, because you're on the other side of the process where you see the benefits of couples working together and the dynamic versus whether you're single or whether you're in a relationship, and how all of that can affect the home buying process.
Yeah, man. Really and truly, the home buying process is a metaphor for a lot of different elements of life, right? Because
Hmm.
I think that there's that saying that if you want to go fast, go by yourself. If you want to go far, go together. And that's no more true than when we're talking about buying a house. You know what I'm saying? Like there are powers that you may have that your partner might not have, and vice versa. So to be in a position that you allow the strength of your partner to bless you and for y'all to bless each other is, I think, a next level of living, the next level of love, the next level of relations. So you know, the challenge is that when we look at particularly communities of color, I talk about the Black community in particular, right? Because I'm here really to serve people near and far. When you look at the numbers, however, in the Black community, home ownership is just struggling, bro. It's just struggling. And what we're seeing is there's a lack of people coming together to make things happen. But that's not just happening in home ownership. If you go on YouTube
Hmm.
or any other social media, you
Yeah.
just see men and women just at each
Um.
other's uh,
Yeah.
all the time. And I'm like, yo, when did this happen, fam? How did this happen? And what do we do to reverse that so that it doesn't really eat away at the fabric of what we've come so far?
Hmm.
You come so far, but the more we turn away from each other is the more we turn away from our own individual goals, right? And I've seen that a lot, like with you and your wife. Um, a lot of who you are today, she spoke over years ago, bro.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, strong praying wife that got your back. Yeah, a lot of things that I'm even doing today started with like the seeds that we planted together and keeping her dream alive and keeping it going, and having that fulfillment. A lot of things I wouldn't have had today had it not been for her support. And you're right. I feel like a lot of us, especially in our community, don't support each other like other communities do. And just to be frank, when you see it online, I feel like we go tit for tat more than any other group of people, just to be honest. And then when you look at the numbers, as far as like home ownership, if we're just doing that comparative analysis, um, we are one of the lowest, at least from when we did the episode in Central Florida. Uh, Culturally, we have one of the lowest buying rates in the Central Florida area,
Yeah.
and that can just be said over um, across the land. It could be for any number of reasons, but it makes you wonder like all the different reasons as to why that is. But then, you know, we I forgot where I was going. I forgot where I was going with that.
But
But I know it's
what I
important
would
for us to be that example and set that example, saying like, hey, we can do this. We work together and we're building something. We're teaching our kids and they're building something. We're have family members that are building something. We have friends that are building, and we just gotta be that difference.
Yeah, word. And the truth of the matter is, I always find it corny that when somebody gets through or they get, they have a certain measure of success, they say, well, I did this, so why can't they do that? And
Hmm.
I look at my story as a gift from God, as just grace. I don't think that I'm that different from a lot of those brothers that I hear speak about women talking about, oh, you can't do this with modern women because that. And if we're honest, a lot of that stuff has a measure of validity to it, but it's the spirit of it, right?
Hmm.
It's like I look at the fact that I've been so flawed in my life, but no matter what I do, my sisters still love me. They still hold me down. They see me at my highest, even when I'm at my lowest. And I know that we're not speaking as a community about our brothers and sisters, but we are speaking about our brothers and sisters. And
Right.
it's important that we give each other that grace because, yeah, you know, women have had to navigate some real challenging times coming from not being able to have a voice in the community, not being able to have a voice in the household, to now
Hmm.
having so much power. In many cases, probably doing a little bit too much with that power. True, cool, but it's still something that we have to love them through
Hmm.
because we have to look at where they've come from. We have to look at what they've had to overcome. We have to look at what we've done. Now, I don't know if you've been a party to the we, but I'm a we. I know that I've been a part of breaking hearts and being a man without
I'm a
as much.
stand up guy.
Huh? Yeah, you say yeah.
Always have been.
That's a good. Well,
Always. Sorry.
you're a stand-up guy except for when you're sitting
Nah,
down.
I saw the storm clouds
Yeah,
outside
I
my
saw your
window.
whole screen. I saw your whole screen black out, flash. You better be
Right.
careful. It's September 23rd. You know it's Rapture Day.
I know, right?
But
That's
yeah,
funny though. But yeah.
so it's
But
like in order for us to elevate collectively, we have to give grace. We have to forgive, and it's beyond a matter of preference. It's really a matter of survival at this point.
mm. Now I'll do like a little turn here. Do you feel that what we're seeing on social media is being a hindrance, like to our, I say not only to like us as a well, yeah, us too as a people, but even like if we were to pin down on like the like, well, our profession, we talk about home ownership and
Yeah,
the resources that you need to be successful. What are your thoughts on like how social media plays a part on that? Because
that's a on
yeah.
the real. I think that it reinforces all of the negative stereotypes and it doesn't leave that room for grace because in a
Hmm.
vacuum everybody's speaking the truth, right? But when you actually scratch beneath the surface just one layer, you see the fallacies in what everybody's talking about. And we're,
Hmm.
we're speaking to each other, we're speaking to ourselves, right? and validating our own fears and concerns and issues without really looking at the mirror and pretty much processing these difficult conversations in a way where there's accountability and responsibility and love that's really
Hmm.
going through. So if we can't trust each other, how are we going to buy a house together?
Right. Yeah, because
If
and
we can't trust each other, how are we going to live together?
yeah, 'cause there's so much that could be said about that. Because I know we always talk about being like the problem solvers. Like the reason why we do this is to educate and to make a difference in our community. And I feel like if there was some way that we can, make a great, well, we're trying to, but make a greater impact in the social media space, in the sense that, like, a lot of things that are being displayed on there is deterring people, because when we go to these workshops, we have to kind of, what's the word? I want to say, like, what's the opposite of brain? Like when they're brainwashed, or like you have to reprogram. I feel like we
We
have to
have
we,
we have to waken them up. You got to
we
get
have to do a
people
lot of
woke.
reprogramming to what's
If you're talking
possible.
about that woke, I hate how they stole that word, man. Woke is such a good word, fam.
Hmm.
Man, they can't take woke, bro. Woke is too good
All right, we
because you
call
got
it
to be
program.
woke.
How about
Huh?
program? You got to get unprogrammed. But
Got to be
even
woke.
in that, just from the conversations we have with people, they hear the information we give, and they're like, "Wow, is this all legit?" And we're like, "Yeah, like this is the
Yeah,
to
like
us, it's
this,
like known, like from building credit to saving to the home buyer process.
and it's
To
second
us, as
nature.
we, huh?
It's second nature to us, but people look
Yeah,
so much like N word, please.
because it's like even like we're talking about like relationships and how that plays a part in it too. It's I feel that if there was some kind of like, well, actually, no. Actually, the reason why I keep getting stopped in my thought process is because we have the resource. We have Homebuyer Academy. I was like, if there was something in place to show people what's possible, we have the research, we have the data, we have like the collectives, we have the information. So I think what I'm really trying to say is trying to push Homebuyer Academy, because
But here's the
Homebuyer
thing. You're
Academy
right.
is the difference maker. You know what I'm
Now,
saying?
here's one thing that when we talk about grace and perspective, catch this.
Right.
You're 100% right. Homebuyer Academy is right here. Let's say Homebuyer Academy is right here on the table. It's right here on the table.
Mm-hmm.
It's not hiding. It's open. It's here for everybody to see. But if somebody can't see over the table,
Mm.
how do we elevate them to be able to see
That's
themselves, to be able to get access to what they need? And we're dealing with people who are dealing with all kind of trouble and trauma and drama on the floor that they can't take the time to look up, because if they look up, they take their eye off of the ball of what's pressing to them right now. How am I going to pay this rent? How am I going to be able to pay this car note? What am I going to do with these kids? What am I going to do with this man or woman that I'm having challenges with? I just got off the phone with somebody that I've been working with off and on for like the last year,
mm-hmm.
and she says, "Hey, I'm at work. I know that I want to do this, but I just don't have time. So I'm gonna send you." And I'm like, "No, no, 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 no. Listen, you prioritize what matters to you.
Mm-hmm.
And if this isn't important to you, I can't do it for you." But in her life, what's immediate requires her immediate attention, and I can't do anything about that. It really comes down to us choosing to be able to elevate and sacrifice the moment to do what you want most in spite of what you have to do now.
Well, what would you say has been like a big like hurdle? I guess I'll say mentally for the people that are there. Like they're like, I want to get started. Like in my experience at the workshops, it's always like, I don't want to be buyer poor. I don't want to worry about all the maintenance things. What on the other side of it, like you have them in there, and then they kind of like stop.
I mean, just life be life,
Hmm.
man. Life be life, and it's such a it's such a challenging thing, because it's like I feel so much compassion
Hmm.
for people's reality in the moment. But nothing I can tell them, if they're not ready to receive,
Mm.
is going to change the reality. No matter how many seeds I plant in the desert, ain't nothing growing.
Hmm.
So it's kind of like having faith in sharing and giving and doing what I can do without being attached to the
Hmm.
result. And that's a challenge that I personally have, right? Because I do, like, I want it so bad for people, bro. I want it
Yeah.
so bad for people. But we could only match with people who want it for themselves too. So that's why having Homebuyer Academy as a nonprofit organization is truly a blessing, not just for the people who are receiving it, whether it be in your churches, your businesses. I mean, it allows me to be able to just teach and talk and just share these things that I geek out over
Hmm.
without really being attached to what happens. If they're not ready to be able to improve their credit, if they're not ready to, or if they're in a position where they're being faced with sacrificing to buy a house, but really wanting a car, I can't do anything about the
Right.
fact that you want to go ahead and buy
And do
a
you?
car that's more expensive than you could really manage because it matters so much that people who don't matter that much see you looking good.
Mm.
Nothing I could do about that. I could teach and preach and try to reach, but at the end of the day, when the student is ready, the teacher
Yeah.
will appear. So I just keep on encouraging people,
Encouraging.
you know, and keep on encouraging them. And when they're ready, they'll show up. They'll be ready.
So going back, with that being said, going back to like the decision part of things, um, in your opinion, probably just like a by a person basis, but do you think it's important to be like in a committed relationship, married,
Mm.
like before you get the house, or like you really got to have your stuff together if you're single? Like, what would you what are your thoughts on that? Like as
Yeah,
far as like,
it's crazy. And I actually want to get some feedback from other people. I really want to understand this. I
hmm,
want to hear what people are saying because this right here blew my mind, right?
right?
I had a homegirl. I have a homegirl. We haven't spoken in a while, but we were really cool. And at one point, she was dating this guy, and she's telling this guy, she's a successful woman, really, really just amazing person. And she says, "Yeah, I'm thinking about buying a house." And he's like, "Psh, you trying to buy a house?" He's like, "Ain't nobody gonna want to date you then." And she was so thrown by it. And when she told me, I'm like, I can't understand.
Mm,
Like, I can't understand how it is that a woman buying a house would be a threat to a man.
mm.
I couldn't get it. Can,
Yeah, I
can,
don't.
can you wrap your mind around that? Because even to this day, this was years ago. But today,
Well, my thought is that whole, I guess that whole masculine feminine conversation that's happening but that happened years ago. But that's like a hot topic that people have right now. Is like does a man? They probably felt demasculated because they was talking with somebody who had goals. They was ambitious and they had a house. But I think that would be cool.
yeah,
If
that's what I
oh
don't
you
get.
got your own
I,
house already. Let's. I got a house. Well, me having a house is different. But like if I was renting or something, I'll say, hey, that's an opportunity right there to break my lease if this thing work out. We can buy together. I don't think I feel like that's an insecurity of like I feel like there's certain things that's put on men to do, and maybe like being a homeowner, it's like you gotta have the land before you can get all the things to put in the land, including being married and things like that. But I don't think it's a problem either if the woman wants to get their house first and go from there.
I think it's I think that's one thing that's probably missing. But I really want to hear from everybody. I want to hear from the woman.
Mm, yeah.
Have you experienced you setting a goal like buying a house and were detracted by men in your life who said that you shouldn't buy a house? I'm so curious. Please post in a comment. I want to hear as much detail as possible because I can't get it. And if you're a dude that feels that way, please explain why, because I'm trying to wrap my head around it because
Mm,
I do think that there is a balance, a masculine feminine balance that has to be achieved for things to work, right? If you're a
mm,
softer gentleman, maybe you might need a more masculine woman. If you're a masculine man, you're probably going to need a more tender woman, and vice versa. But like we got to work with each other, but on a principled basis. If
mm,
somebody's reaching for something big, I'm a cheerleader. I'm a big somebody up. Like with my queen, she just had a major move, and I might be happier than her. You know what I'm saying? So for
Mm-hmm.
me, I can't relate. But to answer your question, I think that you have to buy where you are now under no conditions,
Mm,
right? If
mm,
you are single and you're ready to buy now, buy what you could afford. If you're in a relationship and the relationship is decent, I do think you should buy, but I do think that you should take time to actually structure out details that protect you both,
mm.
right? And what do I mean
Oh,
by
that's
that?
good. Yeah, expand on that. Expand on that.
I think it would be important to be able to set criteria as to how you can buy. You could do that. I'm sorry, not just buy, but how you can sell. So let's say you buy with somebody who you guys end up having an ugly, ugly, ugly breakup 2 years down the line. What do you do with the house? Well, I think just like a prenuptial agreement, I think that you should be able to plan in advance for these kind of scenarios
Mm,
so that um, if one person has to maintain the house, the other person could get bought out, right? Or the other person
right.
gets to leave. And one of the ways that you could do it is this. Um, First and foremost, getting a ladybird deed is a great way. And this is not directly related to relationship, but when you're buying a house, it's a way that you could actually do estate planning without having to get a trust or anything like that. You see my baby girls in the background? My baby girls in
Mm.
the background. Give me a second.
Oh, they're good. I can barely hear them, man.
You can't hear them? Okay, cool. 'Cause
Yeah, they like
I
they.
hear them. So
I didn't start
I have
hearing them until you said it.
now you hear them?
No, I said yeah. I didn't start hearing until you said it.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. They yeah. Anyway, so getting a ladybird deed is a way to estate plan so that you
Mm,
could avoid probate. And the way that you do that is you speak to an attorney, you speak to a title company, and when you buy your house, you could go through the process of actually detailing what happens when you pass. If you pass,
mm,
the ownership is going to go to this one or that one. And it's not really an extensive detail, but it's a simple way to make sure that based on how this deed is structured, you have your instructions laid out. So if you pass, the ownership goes on without you having to go through probate, which could be a very expensive and lengthy process, which happens when you don't have a will or a trust or a
mm,
ladybird deed. But anyway, if you buy with a significant other, it's important to plan on the worst case scenario
mm,
because you don't want to start planning once you guys are beefing, right? Let's say that you guys buy together and the woman had a majority of the income or a majority of the credit or the majority of the down payment.
mm.
Whoever I think takes that initial position to be um, who's in that stronger position, and again, how you choose to do it is up to you. Have one person have the payments come out of their name,
Mm,
right? So let's say that you have the girlfriend. The payments are coming out of her bank account
mm,
every single month. Even if it took both of you guys to buy the house on the loan, after 12 months, let's say things don't work out, what's possible is when he moves on, that mortgage won't go against his debt to income ratio, which means that now he's still going to have an easier opportunity to move on because now his credit isn't particularly tied up to that property because the mortgage has been made out of the other person's account. So he could say the payments aren't made in my name. This
mm,
isn't my mortgage. I was just a co-signer, and they can get their own loan.
mm.
They could still
So,
qualify for if they got a FHA loan, they
mm,
could get another FHA loan, but it has to be over over 100 miles away. If not, you could get a conventional mortgage or a VA mortgage if you qualify, but you're not tied to that house because at least you'll be able to move on and still capitalize on a first time home buyer down payment option.
so,
No down payment
so,
assistance.
so I was gonna ask something that you pointed out there. So for a co-signer, you would recommend, unless you're married, to do it that way? Is that what you're kind of recommending
Yo,
there?
here's the thing, man. We're playing so far behind the eight ball. Like we're
Mm,
really, really far behind the eight ball. And what's happening is that even though we're in this buyer's market right now, and I'm telling you guys right now, over the
yeah.
course of these next few years, this is when you want to buy a house because we're not going to see this great of a buying opportunity that's about to hit us. I don't know how long it's going to be again because there was after the recession, right, in 2008,
Mm-hmm.
2009, property values took a plummet, right? And those people that bought in 2011, 2012 were able to ride a crazy wave. And then there was another bubble, another buckle. And
Mm-hmm.
then 2019, 2018, 20, boom, prices shot up again. And here we are at another one of those moments where the market is going down. This is when you buy. So realize you missed this opportunity. That means that you're going to be buying right back at the top of another market.
Mm-hmm.
And that means that it's going to mean a higher monthly payment, a higher amount of down payment, a higher cost of the house. So if it means that you have to team up with somebody, don't do it emotionally, do it
Mm.
strategically.
Mm.
But if you're able to do it strategically, now you're in the game. So even if 3 years, 5 years down the line, y'all don't work, y'all have built up all of this equity together. Y'all are partners, and y'all could sell this and angrily go by your way about go about your business with an extra 30, 40,000 in each one of your pockets.
Mm.
So even though it's not
Yeah.
wise, because you can get once you have malicious people involved, it could get ugly. But there are
Mm.
things that you can do to plan, um, like damn, you could plan for how to do it and really make sure that the payments come out of strategically out of one person's account. You don't want to pay out of this account one month and this person's account the next month. You have to have 12 months of
12
on
months.
time and consistent payments coming out of the account so that this other person could be free to get out your face.
Mm. Yeah. Now, okay. Say, um, since I know we're
And I'm
getting
going to
close.
research a little deeper to see what we
Yeah.
can do
So,
to actually in that because that's the thing in our community.
mm.
What
So
else
in
can
that,
we
and
do? I'm gonna find out some more details.
so I told you I was gonna do this as we get closer to wrapping up. So it gave me the thought, right? Because all you guys know about this whole rapture mess that's taken over like social media.
You
So
know
my
this rap.
question for you, Chad, if you can, it's probably in that same space, but like if your family member gets raptured and you're left here, what should you have in place to kind of um like avoid, like I know life insurance can cover paying off, like I don't know if life insurance covers rapture, but life insurance can cover the house, in the event that something happens. I know there's probate and things like that. Mysterious vanishing of a family member. What should the family do, or what should you recommend? Have this in place if you're a homeowner. Period.
Well, listen, if you are the victim of rapture, iRobot, or alien abduction, it's time to go to the prayer closet because ain't nothing else. Hide your kids, hide your wife. Everybody get. No, what you want to do to protect yourself is flat out, like you said, life insurance is really, really powerful. And they
Mm-hmm.
have something called mortgage protection where you're able to take out a term life insurance policy that could cover the entire amount remaining on your balance, right? It's not, they call it mortgage protection, but it's really just a life insurance policy. It's also very important that you get a will. A will is going to be detailing, again, how you break down what happens to your assets.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And if there's real estate in that will, you do want to be proactive to actually file that. And also, you want to be able to pretty much use a deed like a ladybird deed allows you to be a lot more detailed than a traditional warranty deed. And you could detail how you want your estate planning to go that way. And the most ironclad play that you can make is a trust, right? And when you do a trust, I mean, you could talk about, yeah, I'm going to give the house to my kids, but they have to finish at least 3 years of college, and they have to, jump on their right foot, 100 times, or you could get down to specific details. You could leave your house to a tree. You could leave your house to a dog if you put it into a trust. You could get so detailed into what you do. So get these asset protection tools in place. A will is very inexpensive. You could get that done with little fuss. A ladybird deed is still very affordable, and the trust can be a lot more detailed and a lot more expensive, but so much more worth it because it is truly a great tool for anonymity. It's a great tool for inheritance. And you could utilize it in many different ways, even put in life insurance. It could get real fancy. So get yourself a good estate planning attorney and just take the time to lock it down and prepare for the inevitable. We're all going to go one day. All right.
And with that being said, does either one of them like trump the other? Like, say if you have
Yeah.
a trust set and then like you have a will the will kind of say if the will says this, then that
So
supersedes the.
absolutely. So you want to get an estate planning attorney, or even what they
Okay.
say like a probate attorney. So you want to avoid probate. So
Mm,
probate is the legal process of appointing somebody to be able to pretty much handle your estate once you're gone. But
mm,
it's in many cases an ugly process because you know that person is grieving, right?
mm.
The person that's assigned um uh
Executor of the estate.
as the executive of the estate or the administrator of the estate. In many cases, they're grieving. They don't want to handle this stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
you could handle this stuff before you go by putting it into a will, by detailing it. And once you have it in the will, you could then be able to have this be the directions that are followed for everything
Mm-hmm.
else to go through without people having to argue over it. And they're still going to fight, but at least it's laid out where, you know what I'm saying, as long as they follow the instructions, it's going to work out a lot better in a hard time. But
Mm.
yes, what trumps all of it is that trust. The trust is a very, very powerful tool. My wife and I, I have a trust. I have a property in the trust right now,
Mm.
but we're working on our trust, and we're trying to get our trust super sexy so that we can leave an inheritance for our kids and our children's children and nieces and nephews. And there's a lot that goes into it. But yeah, take your time to plan it out because it's better we do it now than
Yeah.
have somebody do it for you. Because
I'm in the process of doing. Well, you already know, but like
yeah,
going down
mhm.
that path too for a trust and then a will. But I was trying to see which one made sense to do first. I know I just randomly shared that online, but
Well, I know a
it's
good attorney
important to
for
put
you.
those things in place. So not
I
only
know
are
a
we
good
teaching
attorney
and
for you.
telling you like these are things that we actively talk about and
Right.
actively practice and live out. So we're not just saying, "Hey, do this." Is we're teaching from experience
Yeah, and in action, right? Like we don't have it all
and
figured
in
out,
action.
right? We don't have it all figured out, but we moving. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? We're moving in the right direction, step by step, brick by brick.
Awesome. Perfect. So I don't see any questions in the chat. However, if you do have any questions, join the Home Buyers Club on Facebook, the 2025 Home Buyers Club. Follow us or get more information at homebuyeracademy.org. There's so much information, so many resources on there, or you can click the link. If you're ready, it is that time. Go ahead and click that link, scan that barcode in the top left corner just to get on a call with our team and see where you're at in the home buying process. And that's it for now. But Chad, did you want to give us any closing remarks? Any thoughts to close
Even
out
if you're
with?
not ready, if you have the desire, if it's something that you know you want to do, and for whatever reason it just hasn't happened yet, just book a call because the best thing that can happen is that we can get you to the starting line. And at that point, as long as it takes, we'll be there with you all the way through the finish. So we're really impassioned about what we're doing. We're looking to make a change in communities that need us. So we're looking to have you bring us in to your church, to your company, to your family, so that we can help you guys navigate the process of buying a house. Also, to help you guys to navigate what to do once you buy the house to make sure that when you pass it on, you do it in a way that's going to be a blessing and not a burden. So, my brother
Yeah,
Mo, I'm so glad you made it through this rapture.
yeah.
September 23rd, my pastor told us we wasn't going to be
Well,
here.
when the real rapture come, I'm going to be up. I'm going to go up to glory.
There
But
you go.
You know,
The upper room.
upper. But I just want to reiterate, just don't hesitate to message us. Like if you're watching this video now or later, and you're like, "This is good information for my business, for my organization, for my church, for our company," message us immediately. As soon as you see this, as soon as this video ends, message us. All you have to do is provide the place, and we'll provide the insight.
All right, yo. Peace, my brother, and have
See
a
you
blessed
guys.
evening, everyone.